This is Public Access Lost Transmissions, Part 26. If you're looking at the playlist and wondering about the numbering, parts 24 and 25 were renamed to be Night of the Bone Wolves, so that's why the numbering might seem a little odd to you. But this is Part 26, following on from Night of the Bone Wolves. We have one mystery that we're working on. It's a mystery we haven't really touched in a minute, and so we'll do some recapping on that in a bit. But I also want to point out that you all don't know about Shane anymore, and you still know about Ash, but you don't know about Shane. And something else we talked about off mic is what is everyone's knowledge of Renita del Toro since Renita mostly was terrorizing Shane, although Renita was at Attaboy 85. So I think it's okay to be a little, well, if we're a little ambiguous about it, because also there's a version of Renita who is like in the attic of the house, and we don't know who that person is. And so there's a lot of weirdness and ambiguity going on. And you two can play it however you want, but I'm gonna play it probably like um Renita del Toro as you know her during the camping trip, like doesn't seem hostile necessarily. So that's how I'm going to play it, I think. Things start to get a little squirrely this deep into a campaign of public access, so at least the way I run it. So um, I do want to take a look at this mystery, though. So on Strange Wings, you have answered the first question about the Deep Lake Devils, and you've determined that they're not from this world. And so your new question is, well, how can we banish them from this world? It's a complexity 4. Resolve the mystery by sending the Deep Lake Devils back from whence they came. You have 2 unused clues right here: the shale oil mining contracts, the existence of them, as well as a photograph of the kids from the Odyssey tape and Taylor's hallucinations at Uncle Jimbo's museum gathered around the orb. I believe these are the kids that were like that had gone caving or something. Is that the Odyssey tape in question? I'm trying to remember which Odyssey tape this was, but it was the
Yeah, I think so.
it
Was one of
was,
the
wasn't
kids
it?
who
Yeah,
went
it was the one
into
that.
the cave.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, In any case, there's also some other interesting context with the clues that you've already used, which might still be relevant, even if they're not usable as clues. Obviously, the black orb has something to do with it all. There is this reports of the mass grave near Los Ojos. There was an earthquake in the desert a few days ago. Those are all things you want to probably keep in mind. You're actually going to be camping at Los Ojos, and so you'll be there already. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it as far as that goes. Taking a look at the Latchkeys, you're both okay on conditions. Your second condition, Taylor's a good one, I think, unless you've used it. Um,
I've used it, I
oh, you use
think.
it. Okay, then you both just have your I Dream of Deep Lake.
So I
Um,
just removed it.
all right then. I think we're good to go if there's no other questions. Michael, you good?
I am. I just realized I haven't picked an advancement, but I'm just gonna unmark all my items,
Oh,
and
okay,
that's
great.
that.
Sounds good. All right then. Let's dive back in. The oft mentioned, never completed camping trip with Uncle Joe and Renita del Toro is taking place during this day phase. The camping trip is going to be at Los Ojos de los Muertos, which is this cave system that is near, that's on the outskirts of town in the desert. And we've kind of hinted that we think that's where the Deep Lake Devils are. It has been a number of days since the last attack of the Deep Lake Devils when you were all kind of attacked. Remember that big like mass attack that everyone had in different parts of the town? The Devils have actually been quiet since then. There haven't been any sightings of them. There haven't been any more cattle killings or anything like that. It's been a little quiet. A lot of the ranchers, like Wayne, who were scared of what was going on, and who was attacked with you, Amber, um, they've started to go back to the job. They're feeling a little bit more comfortable about the situation. You might even find that a lot of people are just like sort of deluding themselves about what happened. Like maybe that vagrant spider didn't get decapitated by a horrifying creature from the air. Maybe it was just a tragic skating accident or something like that. Um, and of course, he had drug problems. He was neurodivergent. He had all these issues. So we're going to say that maybe those things are why he got into trouble and got killed. Like there's started to be this like it's almost like TV Odyssey, right? Like everyone's starting to forget about the Deep Lake Devils. Like no one's paying attention to it anymore. Everyone's like chalking up all the attacks to like a weather phenomenon. And but the two of you know what's what. Taylor, you were
And
there when
mostly,
Spider was
yeah, exactly.
decapitated.
I was there,
You were
so
there.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't the rogue skateboard.
Yeah, it was not a rogue skateboard. So this is where we find ourselves. We find ourselves in this situation where Deep Lake is doing its Deep Lake thing and mass suppressing like what happened. But you have reason to believe that these are aliens or from another dimension, and you have reason to believe they are in Los Ojos, and Uncle Joe and Renita and the two of you are going camping. And we actually start, if it's okay, I think we'll start with basically you're all at the campsite, you're getting everything set up. You know, Uncle Joe is, you know, as the big manly man of the group is doing his best to show that he knows how to set up a tent and he knows how to chop firewood. He knows how to do all that kind of stuff, right? Chopping firewood, not a super productive thing this part of the desert. It's mostly desert, but he's doing his best. And I want to set the scene a little bit more even. Renita is still kind of technically working today. And so even though she's there and she's in like camping gear, she still has her police radio on her because she has to respond to things still if like because there's not a huge police force in Degoya County. And so she's there, but she's kind of not there in a certain sense. Um, but there's other things going on as well. You will have noticed when you drove in a like a there's a ranch and but it doesn't look like it's a ranch that's being used to raise cattle or anything because you noticed a bunch of people like riding their dirt bikes like jumping off ramps and little hills on the and you would have seen that.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and I think there's maybe even like a moment where like Uncle Joe like is surprised when like a dirt bike like comes flying across the road, like almost cuts you off, that kind of thing. Um, and Renita's like, oh, I'll go say something to them, they're being very dangerous or whatever. Um, so that's going on. It's really close by, like where that's happening is not far. It's kind of noisy too. Also, you're not the only people camping here. There are a couple of other people who you might recognize. One is Dr. Diana Warner. We saw her very briefly at the gas station. She was here studying these, like she's studying like chiropteras, like winged, things. And also at another nearby campsite is our anthropologist of evil, Dr. Isaac Turner. He is also there. This is the Bible thumper who kind of gave Taylor the what for. And so their campsites are also nearby. And so that's kind of another thing that's going on. And just to make things extra interesting, Amber, you get a text from Wayne. And Wayne says, hey, was today in the text, was today the day you're going camping out at Los Ojos?
And yeah, she replies, it is. What are you
Uh,
up to?
Nothing. I've actually got the afternoon off. Maybe I'll come swing by? Question mark.
Wink smiley
Good.
is the reply.
Fantastic. I love it. Um, Good.
Are
I
we
might.
sharing a tent or do we
I don't know. Well, so I think Joe and Renita are in their own tent. Are the two of you in a tent? Or do you have a separate tent? Is Taylor going to get kicked out of the tent? Like, what is going
Yeah,
on
that
here?
was my point, pretty much.
I think two tents is good. One for Renita and Joe, and one
I
for the
think so
two of
as
you.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so too. I would agree.
Let's just have the scene
Makes sense.
with. I'd like to pick up the scene with Amber clearly focused on her phone while everyone else is setting
Hmm.
up camp.
Yeah. So I watched Joe make the fire or trying to collect firewood, and I um, go to my backpack and grab a bag of coals that I brought and just dump them onto his two tiny twigs while he was trying to like build a fire.
He's like, you know what, Taylor? That's a great idea. That shows initiative. I can tell you really have the camping spirit in you.
Absolutely. I don't quite remember why we agreed to this, but now that we're here, I'm fully committed. Why did we agree to this again, Amber?
Don't know. Maybe I've lost a bet. She's focusing on her phone while sitting in the shadow of a big rock, I suppose, and DOG is there as well. And
You better save that battery.
I mean, why though? If it
You
if it
never
comes
know.
to, I mean, if there's any trouble, Rita's got a thing, whatever,
Oh yeah,
walkie-talkie.
you don't have to worry about anything. You've got 50% of the Degoya County Sheriff's Department right here, keeping you safe.
And also, like, you're supposed to enjoy nature, Amber. Check it out. There's cacti.
Yeah, and then maybe the camera
And
pans, and
look
it's
behind
so
me. Look how
boring.
beautiful it is.
It's just a spread. It's like that. Yeah, it's just like a spread of shrub and and mountains in the distance or sandstones, arches.
You know, Taylor, what would make this view even better if there was like a dust devil rolling by?
Probably.
But not a deep lake devil, right? Renita says.
Yeah, I don't think they would be rolling by, but
So you two don't really think that's real, do you?
do you think it's real?
Well, I was there when we had that freak storm, and I thought I saw something that might have looked like something from the sky, but honestly, I think it was just debris. I mean, the mind plays tricks on you, you know?
Yeah, I was there when the poor guy got decapitated. I
So, uh,
believe I saw something fly off.
I wasn't on duty then. I can't remember, out of character, I can't remember if she was or not. But she says, I seem to recall that the official inquest said that he had an accident with a dumpster and a skateboard, and
Yeah, no,
I'm really
that's not
sorry you had to
right.
experience that. That must have been
Yeah, it
really
was pretty
horrible.
horrifying.
Yeah, it's really horrible. But you don't have to like make up weird
That's
stories
what
in your
happens
head.
when Amber dumps you in the middle of nowhere.
Ouch.
She keeps texting it, ignoring that. Mm.
I love it.
Oh well.
Wayne sends a text.
So
I'll be over in about. I'll be over in just a. I'll head over there right now. I'm about 20 minutes away.
Sounds good.
okay, Amber, come look for berries with me. Or cacti fruit.
I think. I
Right.
think Uncle
And
Joe
then she
says.
gets up and mhm.
I think Uncle Joe says. Uh, I love that foraging spirit. That's very camping coded. I'm super super into that. Uh, but we've got Cheetos and Takis and Cliff Bars. It's not a big deal. You don't have to. But whatever you want to do. This is all about having a good time in nature, right?
Yeah, and we could have snake for dinner.
And I think that uh, Uncle Joe says, "Well, I mean, I bought a bunch of hamburger meat to make burgers and hot dogs, but yeah, snake that could be cool too. Yeah."
I guess hamburgers are fine too.
Uh, so what do the two of you do at this point? I mean, you are here to look into the Deep Lake Devils. So what are we thinking?
Right.
Are the caves nearby?
They are. Renita has made it very clear to you, though, that they are closed to spelunkers. The general public is not allowed to go into them because they're very dangerous. Out of character, caving is insanity. I don't know why anyone would do that in real life. It is so scary and so dangerous.
Uh-huh.
All caves should be closed. But no, yeah, these are closed. You're not allowed to go in technically. Yeah.
Is law enforcement allowed to investigate?
Let me guess. You want me to? I mean, what are we talking about here?
Hand me your gun and badge and let me run the caves? Yes. No, I mean what? What? You were saying?
Do you even have caving equipment?
I looked down at my well-worn sneakers and
I will tell you this. You will see at the other campsite, the scientist, she clearly has caving equipment. You can see the harness, you can see the
mm,
headlamp. Um, there's, that person is going caving.
I mean clearly, Renita, this person is planning on going into the caves. Shouldn't you like confiscate the equipment or something?
Well, I've actually talked to Dr. Warner, and she has a special dispensation from the state through the
Oh,
university to go into the caves, and she's also an expert spelunker.
all right. Well, I mean, we could still just take a peek. Not really go inside, just check out the perimeter.
Well, I did think she was supposed to have a team with her. I'm not sure why she's alone. Maybe they haven't gotten here yet. I don't know.
Yeah, we should ask her.
Amber, what are you up to?
I mean, I'm mostly focused on Wayne arriving soon, so getting Taylor out of the picture would be nice.
Yeah, I that's good. Um, I will tell you that one of the one of the dirt bikers from across the way on the ranch across the way, you can see them heading towards the camp on their dirt bike. You can hear the murr of the bike and the dust kicking up behind them, and they're wearing like that, kind of like motocross helmet, and that whole like situation, right? They look like Excite Bike or something, right? And uh, this person, kind of does a like fancy little like spin the tire around a little circle and then comes to a stop and Uncle Joe claps. He's like, wow, yeah, it's a really cool hog you got there. And of course Renita corrects him because we don't call dirt bikes hogs and so forth. But this guy takes his uh his helmet off and um he's a little scraped up. You can see like his as he kind of takes his gloves off, his hands are kind of like scarred and his knuckles are a little busted because this is a dangerous sport, right? Um, he's got like a little bandage on his forehead, but apart from the fact that he's like a little sweaty and a little dusty, he's pretty young and fit. And he says, "Hey, How's it going? I'm Glenn.
How young is young? I mean,
He's
is
probably
he
like
about our age?
26, yeah, something like yeah, about your age.
Oh,
Yeah. And like that meme where the guy takes off his sunglasses, Amber takes off her sunglasses.
He's like, "Hey, my name's Glenn," and he kind of gets off, does the kickstand, goes up to shake your hands. I own the ranch next door. We don't usually get campers out this way. Uh, let me know if we're like
really
too
looks like a
noisy.
busy spot though.
Well, yeah, I guess it is right now, huh? Anyway, just if the noise bothers you or whatever, like just let me know. Come over there and let me know. We'll we'll definitely we'll definitely pack it all up by sundown. So
No, no, not at all, not at all. It looks like fun. I used to do a
yeah.
little biking myself.
Oh, do you want to give mine a go?
Oh, I'd love to.
He's like, here, take a helmet. He gives you a helmet.
I take a helmet and
He's like, yeah, it's nothing but runway. Just and he's like, he kind of turns to you, Taylor, or to Amber rather. Amber,
Hmm.
he's like, so hi, I'm Glenn.
Uh, I'm Amber. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Don't
I'm
take this the wrong.
Taylor.
Don't take this the wrong. He ignores you, Taylor. Don't take this the wrong way. But you look kind of like this is not really your thing, camping.
Yeah, how can you tell? And basically she's not wearing the right stuff, and
Fully
not
decked
l-
out, go.
yeah,
he's like, well, what's cool though? Everybody's got their thing, right?
sure, what's yours?
Uh, owning a really, really big ranch at the age of 25 is my thing. And motorbikes. My family, they kind of think that the ranch is wasted on me because I didn't have any desire to raise cows or do whatever other kind of ranch shit you're supposed to do with a ranch. But I don't know. You only live, you only live once, right? And I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe
Right.
finding a way to monetize it. I think I could do like some classes or something, or maybe, you know, um, get some I don't know, maybe like get ESPN out here and record a reality TV show about a group of young, idealistic uh, motorbike enthusiasts in the desert who are just trying to live their lives and laugh and love.
You should do
Vroom,
like
vroom.
yeah, looking at Taylor, maybe you're
I
better off doing dumb stunts and getting hurt and making a documentary about that show.
I roll my eyes at Amber and give the bike a go.
So you do take off the bike then?
Yeah,
Where do you go?
just through the cave entrance.
Okay, yeah, I'm into
Maybe
that.
just like shine the headlights in
Yeah,
there just a
okay,
little bit.
yeah, I like it. That's good. We'll pick up with that in a minute. Amber, Glenn says, so yeah, this is cool. He like introduces himself to Joe and everything, and he's like, Deputy Del Toro, good to see you again. Renita's like, Glenn, good to see you again. I hope this is it's unusual to see you in this kind of circumstance and not one where I'm writing you a ticket. So that's new for me. Glenn says, I'm a bit of a speed demon. I can't help it. I got the need for speed. What can I do?
At this point, I think I'm tempted to text Wayne that it's a family thing right now. It's inconvenient to get.
Regrettably, there is a truck coming up the road. You see Wayne's truck coming up the road, and yeah, we'll pick up with that in a moment. Let's check in on Los Ojos. This is really interesting. there is a there is like a there are like several places to enter the cave system, but there's kind of like one that is the official entrance, the main entrance. It's when they did do tours of this before they shut it down, this is the way you would go in. You can certainly it's daytime right now, but you can certainly use the headlights of the motorcycle to kind of look inside the cave and see what you see without going in too far. Go ahead and do the meddling move with reason, I would say.
That's a 9.
9, great. Love that. And I'll go ahead and just get you a clue now. Let me take a look at my clue list.
And I also would like to throw in some kind of small stone just to see if there's a drop or
Oh,
see where
sure,
it goes or
yeah.
something.
Well, I'll tell you that straight away. There is a sort of like, at least for the early part of the cave, there is like a wooden walkway that's been built in. So, and it's a fairly gentle decline. Um, if you go in any deeper, I'll let you know what you see or what you find. But for now, it seems fairly safe. Let's see what you see here, though. Oh, interesting, interesting. I'm trying to say how I want this to. I don't want to reveal this. Ah, well, let's just get started, shall we? You notice right at the entrance to the cave, there is a horse, a mare, that has been killed. It looks very desiccated, but not like, but it's not bones. It's almost like it's been sucked dry, and the fur and flesh is just pulled in tight over the skeleton. Like if this is the Deep Lake Devils, it's almost like they drank its blood, right? That's what you see. You don't have to go in very far to the cave to see it. I think the complication is going to be if you want to go into the cave to investigate further, you're going to have to do the the night move to work up the nerve to do it.
That's fine.
If you want to, tell me what you're afraid is going to happen if you lose your nerve in there.
Mm, I'm afraid that whatever got that horse will also get me.
Might indeed. I'm going to say it's worse than that because it's worse than that. There will also be a cave in, and no one will ever find you.
What? Wow, okay. That's so nice. Uh,
roll with
composure.
roll with composure. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, that's still an 8.
Okay. You can go in
Um,
deeper. Tell me how do you work up the nerve to go in, especially after you see this like poor animal.
could you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Oh,
There was a noise outside. I was...
how do you work up the nerve to go
Oh
in
yeah.
after you see this animal?
Mm. I remember my anatomy classes at university and tell myself that it's just a dead animal and that I know what to do with dead animals and there's nothing to fear. And also, I mean, it's very light because the headlight from the
Yeah, yeah, and it's daytime.
bike
It's
is
yeah,
super bright as well.
but you do go
So
in a little bit then.
Yeah, just a little bit, just a few steps, and then a few more.
Yeah, yeah,
I
that's
check
good.
back if Renita is busy with
I mean,
handsome young man
you're
and
probably a little far away from the campsite. Like you're not right.
oh, very good.
You can see them in the distance, but not like
Oh, good.
yeah.
Okay,
They can't
that's
really
even
see what
better.
you're doing. Yeah.
Very
I
good.
will say this though. You will hear someone from behind you say, "I wouldn't go in there if I was you. You know what lies down below. The devil, evil, darkness."
Well, what are you doing here then?
It is the evil anthropologist,
Of course
the
it
anthropologist of
is.
evil. What is it? I forgot this guy's name. Oh, the anthropologist, Doctor Isaac Turner. He says,
Mr. Turner.
"Well, I saw you take off on that motorbike and then cut over this way, and I had a powerful feeling. I had a powerful feeling, probably from God, who said I needed
Or
to come.
probably from your eyes watching me.
I needed to come and rescue you from evil. Evil,
I see, yeah.
evil
Uh-huh.
does not care about your surly attitude. It will destroy
Well,
you no matter what.
okay, that's fine. I think I'm beyond
Evil,
saving anyway.
evil isn't just the province of theology and superstition.
Ah, sweet Jesus.
It's a very
Will you
real
shut up?
force. A real force as inescapable as gravity. That
I just
gravity in the cave that's going to pull you
ignore
down
him.
to your death, evil.
No, no. Just I ward him off with my hand and just
Do you go
go
deeper in
into
the
the
cave?
cave a little
Yeah, okay. He
further.
doesn't
Yeah,
follow, but he does.
very good.
He's. I am going to give you a condition. Evil is like gravity.
Yeah, and I'll try defying gravity.
Indeed, indeed. I should describe what he looks like since we saw him. He's a big barrel-chested man. Even though he's out here like camping, he's wearing a vest and suit. um, and he's got kind of slick back hair. And he just keeps hollering about evil as you go deeper into the cave. Amber.
In my head, he kind of looks like a reverend. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah, I think that's probably not bad. Amber, Wayne pulls up in his truck and he gets out and he's like, "Howdy, everyone." And he knows Joe and Renita, as well. He's like, "Hey," he's like, "Oh, hey, Amber, and hey, Glenn. I didn't know you were going to be here." And Joe says, "Wow, this is turning into a bit of a party, huh?"
So you guys met before?
And they kind of look at each other like, "Well, yeah, I mean, we're both born and raised."
I mean, the more the merrier, right?
Wayne says, "I kind of thought it was there was going to be fewer people here, Amber."
I mean, we still can hang out, right?
"Yeah," Glenn says. "I mean, if you're all cool with it, I got plenty of space at the ranch. We can go back to the ranch. We can smoke. Do you guys smoke? Sorry, Officer Del Toro. Smoke cigarettes, that is. And um, you know, just chill around the fire pit. Could be cool, right?" Uncle Joe's like, "But what about hamburgers?" He's like,
I mean, Uncle Joe, wouldn't it be nice for you and Renita to have some time as well?
And Jill's like, he's like, well, yeah, I guess so, but I've already set up this tent, and well, I guess Taylor, we can hang out with Taylor. It'll just be a little, a
Oh yeah,
little,
they're fun.
just a little three-way camping thing with me and Taylor and Renita. That'll be great.
Thank you, Amber, for leaving me somewhere again.
Wayne's like, so we're gonna hang out at Glenn's. That's the plan.
I mean, you know me, I don't really do plans, so I think that, that just came up, so I'm good with that. Smoking cigarettes, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I guess you two can hop into the truck and we can go back over to the ranch. Glenn says, "Yeah, yeah. If your friend comes back with my bike, just leave it here. I'll come get it in the morning." Or
He said, if.
right, yeah. Do you get in the truck and go over to the ranch?
Yeah,
All right, I
and
love it.
I mean, either at the ranch, I'd like to do some investigating or maybe talk to Glenn on the way.
Yeah, I'm into that. What are you talking to him about?
I think,
Wayne, like, so yeah, I'm imagining like kind of it's you and Wayne in the front seat, and then Glenn's like in the
hmm.
back, you know? Yeah.
So have you noticed anything unusual lately? I mean, there has been people died, but most people around here say, "Oh yeah, that's been a storm."
Wayne's like, yeah, everyone's talking about how there was like a storm, but I think there was something else going on. Glenn says, yeah, I've been hearing those stories. I mean, I've heard there's maybe something living in Los Ojos, but hey, what's all this about? And Wayne's like, her and her friend, they're here making a TV show about like weird mysteries in Deep Lake. Glenn's like, oh, okay, cool. That explains a lot because you don't really look like a desert kind of gal.
Yeah.
You do.
So,
You look like you could be like, you know, sort of like in film and TV, Tim Burton-esque, if you will.
thanks. I'll take that as a compliment.
Go ahead and roll the meddling move with presence.
Okay, let's see if there's anything that might help. The item. Mm. I offer him an energy drink because I've got a bag full of them with me.
You've always got. Are there balls?
Sure. Ice cold balls.
He loves. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, that was a good
Wayne mutters
choice.
something about someone's balls are going to be ice cold tonight. He mutters surly in a surly way. Um, Glenn cracks open the balls and starts drinking it. And yeah, roll. See what you get.
I've got an 11.
Fantastic. I'll give you a clue. Let's take a quick break. I'll come back, give you a clue, and then we'll kind of continue with Taylor as well. Glenn says, weird stuff. I mean, yeah, we're in Degoya County. We have a bit of a reputation. I don't know if it has anything to do with winged creatures that supposedly pull your head off mid flight, but I have noticed something kind of strange the last few nights. I've got dogs, and every night for the last few nights, they've kind of had it off, like walking really intentionally with purpose, you know? and they don't listen to me, to my commands. And I found them one night, and they're standing there in like a circle or like a semicircle with a couple of other dogs, but also with coyotes and even like a wolf. And oh, it freaked me out. It was eerie, man. Like all of them just standing there in a row, staring at something. And I couldn't tell what they were staring at. I, it was like they could see something, they could feel something, and they were watching it like they were expecting it to do something, but it was nothing. It was just a patch of desert. Kind of strange, right? If you want, I can do that again on camera. It's not a big deal.
Sure, that'd be great.
Wayne says, well, cool. So, well, you brought a dog, right? I mean, maybe you better watch it tonight. Maybe it'll go wander off and maybe it'll meet Glenn's dogs. And I don't know, maybe they'll hook up. And who knows what could happen? Just some dog bullshit. And you get to the ranch. Wayne is not taking this well.
Oh,
Glenn
bummer.
says, he's like, most of my friends are gone already, except for one. It'll just be the four of us. Oh, there she is now, and his friend is Nikki Connolly, the mechanic, and Grease Monkey. She's there.
So for the viewers, that's another potential
Another
love
potential love
interest.
interest. She comes up and she kind of gives Wayne the ugly eye because we've already been through this with Wayne and Amber and her before. And then she sees you and she's like, "Oh, of course. Like, let's all just join the party. Glenn, are you getting in on this too? What's going on here?"
Wait, I thought you'd be cool.
I mean, I'm cool. It's fine. I'm cool. And she has like a Toronto Blue Jays baseball cap and she turns it backwards. Real cool. Pulls it down her head. Anyway,
W-
I'm about to go
Yeah,
I'm about to go fire up the grill, Glenn and Wayne. Uh I guess I think the dealer will be here in a little bit, so be on the lookout. And you all just go into the house?
yeah, I suppose.
Indeed.
Now
The
only
guy,
Missy is missing, right?
Yeah, that's true.
we shall see. You have another clue. Actually, well, you have the clue about the horse that was drained of its blood, and you have
Yeah.
this new clue about the dogs going out into the desert with wolves and coyotes too, staring at something in the desert.
That puts us to four clues.
It does indeed. Yeah. Let's check in with Taylor. Taylor Los Ojos. Many of the caverns of New Mexico show signs of past human habitation, whether it's petroglyphs or, maybe little bits of shards of clay, things like that. Everything about this area, though, as you kind of go in a little deeper, and you're still on the kind of like, you're still on the path, the wooden path that was laid here, right, for people to walk on. It all seems designed to reject human intrusion, if not for this little footpath. I mean, for one thing, as you even approach the caves, you would have noticed that the fir trees, the way the sun was kind of hitting them from behind, the fir trees on the hill, it kind of made them seem darker and more sentry like they're looming over you, right? the cave, the incline starts gently, but starts to get steeper and steeper. And something about this cave, it almost feels like it's devouring what little bit of light there is. You might have even gotten the impression of walking into a big toothy maw. The stories of what lies within this range of caves, they range from the fantastical, from bats and subterranean lakes to oil deposits and silver veins, even to stuff like glowing lava pools and ancient tombs, and now, maybe, winged terrors.
Of course.
Let's paint the
I
scene.
expect all of that.
Yeah, yeah. Let's paint the scene. What signs of recent activity, human or otherwise, immediately draw Taylor's attention? And Taylor, how does it make you feel to consider the notion that you may not be alone down here?
There are on the side of the cave, it looks like a handprint, like someone was running their fingers along the walls, and that's where the condensation doesn't really settle. So the oils from someone's hand or something repel that, and it makes me feel somewhat defiant, but also because the guy is watching from the entrance, and I don't like people telling me what I can and cannot do. So I ignore whatever trace of fear I can find in my body and just venture on.
There's a graffiti depicting an arrow, and next to it is written "Fun Hole."
Do not follow that arrow. I will tell you, Taylor, that the part of the cave system in the beginning that has a little wooden walkway, that actually ends not too far in. And they've put up like a railing at the end of it and a big sign that says, "Stop. Do not go any further. Caving is dangerous. You could die." What do you do?
Does it look like it's possible to go further without equipment?
For a little bit, but the incline is getting a lot steeper, and also you will notice even just from where you're at now, just using the maybe like your light from your cell phone or something, you'll notice that there are lots of different ways to go. There's lots of little tunnels and passages and crevices.
Yeah, I would like to
And
roll down a pebble.
yeah, it does roll down pretty far. I'll go ahead and give you a meddling move with reason to see if maybe you stumble on something else as well. Do I want to put you at disadvantage because of gravity is the devil? I kind of do. Yeah.
But I already rolled.
Oh, what'd you get?
I got an 11, but I can roll another die.
No, it's
if you
okay.
want.
I'm gonna do it. It's fine. You're not dealing with gravity super directly yet. I'll give you a clue in a moment. Amber, how's this really awkward social call going?
Yeah, not too well, I suppose. Hmm. I think I'll just wander off, look around the ranch,
I
you
think Nikki
know.
will catch up to you, and she'll say, "Hey," and she has like she's not in her like mechanic, outfit. She's just like in jeans and a t-shirt and her Blue Jays cap, but she always kind of faintly smells of gasoline and and car grease, I think,
Mm.
And she's like, "Hey, sorry, sorry if I made it weird back there."
I mean, yeah, I get it to some extent, though. It's rather unusual, you know.
I mean, I'm not like saying like like we barely know each other. We've never really even, you know, done anything, but and you can do whatever you want. But I'm just saying like, look, Wayne is objectively hot ranch hand. I get it. Glenn's a spoiled rich boy with his own ranch and all of his motorbikes, and he's like my best friend also though, so I can't really like, shit talk him too much. Like he's cool, but these guys, I mean, we could just get out of here.
I mean, to be honest, I haven't done anything with any of you guys.
Okay, cool. So it's just like a friend thing then with them.
No, just didn't have the opportunity yet. But I've met you
Oh.
first, and
At
Oh,
least
so I
he's
get
honest.
first crack at it, I guess. Is that what you're saying?
Amber gets a little bit closer. I mean,
Oh.
sounds good to me.
A car pulls up to the house and Glenn comes out and he's like, "Here she comes, my girl,
Missy,
Missy
Missy,
Von
Missy.
D, Missy Von D." And Missy like honks the horn. Boop, 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 boop. Wayne's like, "Oh my God." And Nikki's like, "Oh my God, I just put all this together. What is going on?" And Missy Von Donut pulls up in her, I don't remember what she drove, but I'm going to say it's like a little hatchback. And it's all decorated with like peace symbols. And she's got like a lava lamp installed on the car dashboard.
Right.
And she gets out with her big Aquanet 80s hair. She's a little older than everybody here, but not by too much. And she's like, "All right, boys and girls, I've got two really fantastic strains here." She's got two big old plastic bags of pot. And then she sees you and she's like, "Oh, hey, I didn't know it was going to be that kind of party, but all right." She sees Wayne, she sees Nikki, and she's like, "Okay, cool. Okay, cool. I'm into this." Nikki just slaps her face and kind of walks off. And so does Wayne. Glenn, I don't think Glenn really knows what's going on. He doesn't know the story. So, what do you do, Amber? I want the day move in any case. What do you afraid is going to happen if you lose your nerve right now?
Um, I think if I don't play my cards right, they just ask me to leave.
Aw. Roll with composure.
Okay, I'm not putting any item to use because I want to see how this goes. But composure isn't a bad stat for me. Oh, that's a 12 actually.
Oh, wow. Okay, great. Um, wow. You keep it together. It'll all be cool. You get a bonus even. I think the bonus is if you want to, you'll be able to convince the guys and Nikki, not Missy, but you'll be able to convince the guys and Nikki to go to Los Ojos with you.
orgy, orgy.
Well, I was suggesting a
I mean, cave,
spelunking,
cave.
caving.
Yeah, probably Kevin might be more appropriate.
Dive deep, Amber, dive deep.
If you wish, if you want to.
Yeah, yeah, sounds good.
Well, we'll come back and we'll have the scene, kind of a group scene with everybody here in a bit. I do want to check back in on Taylor though. Well, Taylor, so what'd you get on your die roll, Taylor? You got an 11, right?
Yeah.
Let me give you a clue. Hmm. It's dark. And so you can't quite make out what you're hearing unless you happen to have a flashlight or something on you.
I do actually.
Oh, do you? Okay, well, you maybe you hear it first. You drop down your stone. It does, you hear it kind of plunk, plunk, plunks down somewhere. And then you hear like a loud, it sounds like a rain stick, like when you take a rain stick and you tilt it and it kind of goes, it sounds kind of like that. Yeah, and if you flash your flashlight down there, you'll have to go a little further to inspect it more closely, but it looks like down below there is what appears to be a big pile of bones.
Nice.
And that's your clue, a massive pile of bones in Los Ojos.
Not even big, massive. Okay. Is it human bones? Can I tell from up here?
I'll
I'm a biologist.
I'll add that to the clue. It's a mixture of
Okay.
human and animal bones.
Mm-hmm. Okay, nice. I would like to explore further, but I think I'd better get some kind of weapon or maybe amber.
As you head back
I
to
mean,
the
I'm
entrance,
curious, but not
yeah,
stupid.
yeah. As you head back to the entrance, you overhear an argument. Science is not evil, okay? And not everything can be explained in your little black ancient book of mythology, all right? I am here to do real scientific work. I am an actual doctor, not a charlatan or whatever it is you're doing. And I am here to go caving to look into, well, never mind. You don't need to know what I'm here doing. It has none of your business. And then, of course, Dr. Turner, Dr. Turner rails at the other doctor about, like, stirring up dark forces down below and da 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 da. This is all going on, right? And when
Yeah.
you get there, you do see Dr. Warner, this zoologist, her strawberry blonde hair pulled back in a tight ponytail, and she's got tools and rugged boots, and she's dressed to go spelunking, to go caving. She has a lot of equipment with her. She says, if
Uh,
you'll excuse me. Oh, hello.
oh, hi, doctor.
Uh, I didn't think there was supposed to be anybody out here at Los Ojos, but now I find the two of you.
I'm not with him,
Oh, well, that's encouraging. And
isn't it?
she says,
I'd much
uh,
rather be with you, though.
have you done a lot of caving? My team was not
Uh,
able to make it to this trip after all, and I'd hate to waste the drive out here. I didn't want to go in
not
alone, but
not a lot, but I'm doing my PhD in biology right now, so I would really love to get the chance to
oh, that's
explore the
great.
area.
I'm uh I'm Dr. Warner. I think we met briefly maybe before. What was your name?
Taylor,
Taylor. Yeah, great Taylor.
Taylor Hahn.
Evil!
Um,
Evil! Evil!
yeah,
Evil! Evil!
yeah, that too, apparently.
She says, "Why don't we come back a little later? We'll get you some gear. We'll
That
go
would be
grab
amazing.
we'll go grab lunch or something back at camp." And she kind of like is trying to get away from him.
Yeah. I would love that. I'm actually writing my thesis on algae, but you never know what kind of bodies of water you can find here. Could find in a cave,
I've been
right?
in lots of cave systems. I'm a bat specialist myself,
Oh,
and
lovely.
there are all sorts of strange, cave lichens and other, fungi which adjacent to algae, but it's in the,
That's
same sort of
awesome.
like zoological neighborhood, right? Or biological neighborhood, and just kind of going
I
on.
think so. I'm hoping for some bioluminescent matter on here.
Oh, so this must have been your bike parked out here, huh? I assume it
Oh
wasn't
yeah.
his. I'm sure
Can you imagine?
motorcycles are evil,
Are
right?
evil.
Yeah. She's like, well, I'm in the little Jeep over here. I'll meet you back at camp.
Yeah. Do you want to ride?
Well, I got the Jeep. I'm good.
Oh,
But
the Jeep. I'm sorry. Yeah,
right.
of course you do. What did
Uh,
the guy come with?
he drove in his. I think he drives a Cadillac. His
I
Cadillac
was
is
kind
out
of
there.
imagining it in like a Pope mobile,
Yeah,
Papa
he's got a
mobile.
big Cadillac, big gold
Of
Cadillac,
course.
right? You can head back to camp. Amber
Yeah. I drive,
uh,
I start the bike in a way that um,
kickstart on
gets
him.
sand all over
Yeah,
his
yeah.
car.
Evil! He hollers as you drive off.
I just wave.
Amber, this is going surprisingly well. It's a little awkward at first because like they all had like an interest in you, and Glenn kind of was starting to kind of feel something for you a little bit. But once everyone starts smoking, it all just kind of evens out, and everyone's cool. Missy Von D is there, and she's kind of regaling you about stories of when she was your age. She's only like 10 years older than you, but she's like, when
Hmm.
I was your age, da, 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 we used to do this, we used to do that, da, da, da. And it's just kind of going on and on. Uh, uh, at one point, Missy Von D looks at Nikki and she goes, I want you to know that uh, I am very supportive of the LGBT community. I consider myself an ally. So I'm down with that shit. She takes a hit. What are you doing during all this, Amber?
So it's getting dark outside, right?
Not quite. I mean, I
Not
mean,
quite.
the day is getting long, but it's still late
Okay, fair
afternoon.
enough, fair enough. Mm. And do you think that some someone of the NPCs will suggest going to the cave, or should
Well, maybe.
I
Oh, well,
rather?
and actually, no. If you want I can give you a lead into that. I mean, I could.
Yeah.
Wayne could be like, so, are you and Taylor like here to go into Los Ojos? We had talked about that.
I mean, as you can see, I'm here to spend time with my uncle,
He looks
and
around, right?
yeah, he brought his girlfriend, so
Obviously.
and to be honest, I feel a little bit jealous and left out because I thought I could spend some time with him, and
Right, yeah. That's
s-
the bummer.
yeah, so maybe.
Not like you had a whole other person there to spend time with.
Taylor's just completely forgotten about. You might as well march to the chromatic desert, Taylor. Be done with
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Um,
Um, yeah, so I mean, for a moment, she kind of is even vulnerable, admitting that she went with all the other young people
yeah, yeah.
to. I'm not saying make my uncle feel bad, but I mean, yeah, I'd like to connect with him, but it's really hard.
I mean, I know your uncle. He's a nice enough guy. Uh, I didn't even know he had a niece, like who was hot. Glenn says that.
Yeah. So about that, I mean, obviously you're all into me, and maybe we should figure out. She's high as well, you know.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And
This is
maybe
very like,
we
yeah.
should figure out some way to make this less awkward. So maybe we could do just a fun activity tonight and um
What kind of fun
see,
activity do you have in mind?
not like that. I mean, maybe at some point, but no, check out the cave and the entrance at least. That dog barking thing made me rather curious. Maybe and you know, if it's one or more of you are into that and are supportive, that will tell me who I should prioritize. And she's really high.
I think they all just kind of look at each other, and Wayne says, I mean, to be clear, you're cute and you're cool and everything, but like, I don't think it's as complicated as all that. And Nikki's like, yeah, like, we haven't even like hooked up or gone on a date or anything. Glenn's like, I just met you. And Missy Von D's like, I'm sorry, have we even met?
That hurts, Missy.
She's
Uh,
she's like, it's my memory is awfully bad when I smoke though, so don't take it personally.
you know, we were angel friends.
Right, right. Um,
The tall guy,
right.
you saw him too.
Missy says, I'm way too high for this. I'm not going to a cave, but uh I'm cool to like sit here on the couch while you guys go. Nikki says, "Yeah, we should. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go. I mean, I don't have any equipment." Glenn
Yeah,
says, "Oh, I do." Glenn's got equipment. Wayne is not doesn't love the idea. He's a wide open skies kind of guy. But Nikki's down. Glenn says, "What about the dogs, though? Don't you want to see what the dogs do at night?"
yeah. I mean, they are. Where do they go actually?
Look, how about this? I'll get all my equipment. We'll load up the truck. We'll head out there, and on the way, we'll stop at the spot where the dogs all go to. You can take a look. If you brought a camera, you can film some B-roll for your show, and then we can. I can do a little. I can do a little interview spot there too if you
Yeah,
want.
talking heads.
Right, little
Sure.
talking head. Yeah, and
Did you bring DOG?
oh yeah. Oh, we should. Oh, we should go get your dog. You have a dog with you, right?
Yeah.
Cool, let's go do that. And they're all down. Missy says, I'll hold down the fort. And I think we'll put everybody back together at the campsite. Taylor's there. You come in tow with Nikki, Wayne, and Glenn. Taylor's there with DOG.
Oh, Amber, you brought even more friends?
The more the merrier.
Nikki comes up to you and she's like, "Hey, I'm Nikki.
I'm Taylor.
Nice to meet you."
Nice to meet you.
She goes to shake your hand. She's like, cool.
Yeah. So, are you also one of the Amber fangirls or
Who? Oh, yeah, we're friends.
Amber fan
Yeah,
club?
yeah, we're friends. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's
She
cool.
has this habit of attracting people
Oh,
wherever she
yeah.
goes.
Well, whatever. I mean, it's it's cool. I'm a mechanic.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
I'm a biologist.
I like to get my hands in there and work on things.
I can appreciate a girl who likes to get her hands dirty.
Yeah. Joe is like, so were you all sticking around for hamburgers or what? What's going on? Do I need to put on more on the grill?
Yeah, that sounds good actually.
Renita comes up and says to you, Amber, and to Glenn, I couldn't help but notice you have a bunch of headlamps and harnesses and rappelling ropes in the back of your truck. I also couldn't help but notice you all reek of weed, but I'm going to set that aside for now. Are you all planning on
But
going into the
don't speak for
cave?
all of them.
Are you planning on going into the cave? Glenn's like, no.
What cave?
I mean, there's apparently a strange phenomenon going on with the dogs, and we're about to check that out. And it's gonna be dark, we need some light. And maybe can use the harnesses as leashes for the dogs.
I think Dr. Warren comes up to your camp and she's like, uh, Deputy Del Toro, it's okay. It's no big deal. Um, these two right here, talking about Wayne and Glenn, and Nikki, all three of them. These three right here, they're part of my team. That's going to be going down to the cave with me.
Hello? What about me?
Well, yeah, and I
You
mean,
promised.
I can look after these two. You don't have to worry about it.
We were just bonding over
Shh,
biology,
I know.
remember?
I'm trying to get you out of this. And Renita's like, okay, but just be careful.
Always.
Uncle Joe's like, I feel uncomfortable about this. I know you're all adults, but I still feel kind of responsible for you.
I mean, that's how I feel about you and Renita. So I think we're even.
Ouch. He's like, all right, got it. Wow, okay. Whew. Um, do, do you want American or cheddar on your hamburger? And he goes off to the grill.
Yeah, and probably we all stay for a while and have some burgers.
That sounds
Well,
good.
so it sounds like the plan is to go out to where the dogs have been congregating at night, check that out, and then head to the caves. Is that a fair?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Sounds like a good plan. And
I love
also
it.
see if DOG reacts in the same way. That would be
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
interesting.
bring DOG. Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
I love it. Let's take a 5 minute break. We'll come back and we'll do that. I think it's probably safe to assume that you brought the black orb with you, right? Yeah, that makes sense to me. You all pile into the truck. Who's sitting in the cab of the truck? Glenn's driving, or no, Wayne's driving the truck. And who's sitting in the bed of the truck? There's
I'm in
enough.
the bed.
There's enough room for 4 people in the front.
yeah, so I'm sitting in the front.
I think Nikki will stay in the back with you, Taylor,
Good.
and everybody else can be in the front. It sounds like. Nikki will be like, I mean, this conversation's kind of yelled because you're on the road, but she'll be kind of like, so what are you and Amber doing out here this summer? What brought you here?
We're kind of trying to solve a mystery.
Okay, that's cool. Um, I think Amber's maybe mentioned that before. Something about like a
Yeah.
TV show or something.
Yeah, exactly. A TV station. There used to be a TV station here, and
Really?
yeah,
Oh, that must have been before my time.
I think it was during your time, but it's not many people remember it. But we have managed to acquire some tapes, and they're pretty weird. Like,
Hmm.
can show you sometime if you want.
Yeah, maybe. That'd be cool. And you're kind of bumping along in the truck, you know. And at
If
that,
you're into creepy stuff, that is.
yeah, yeah. On the inside of the truck, where it's Amber, Wayne, um,
Glenn.
Glenn,
Glenn.
and actually, I think Dr. Warren's in her Jeep, so it's just the three of you.
Mm.
You know, it's Wayne's like, I just want you both to know that I'm not feeling like super territorial or anything here. I mean, it is true that Amber and I had a life and death experience together. We were attacked by a really violent freak tornado that smashed up the car, and I did have to kind of, you know, it was kind of like Twisters a little bit. It was like kind of like Twister, you know, kind of one of those situations. We had to we only had each other to depend on at that time. And it was a pretty bond, you know, kind of a bonding experience, I would say, Glenn. Um, just so you know, Glenn's like, it's cool, man. They're just kind of going back and forth like this, right?
Uh,
What are you doing, Amber?
Petting DOG.
Yeah, DOG. That's right. I was forgetting about DOG. Mm,
Um, and taking, a step back.
mm.
Looking actually at Nikki and Taylor, how they're getting along.
Yeah, how are they getting along, Taylor?
Getting along just fine.
Yeah. Are you sitting next
Yeah.
to each other back in the back of the truck or across from each other in the back of the truck?
Next to each other
Next to each other in the back of the truck.
because it's loud and you have to
Mm.
Right.
talk into each other's ears and stuff.
Wayne will look in the rearview mirror at you and he'll kind of say to the others in the front, like, well, it looks like maybe our little weird situation is resolving itself at least somewhat here. There might be a bit of a
Mm,
connection going on back there. I mean, I don't know.
maybe.
Oh,
Dr. Warren is going to drive.
maybe she's just trying to make Amber jealous.
Or I keep calling her Warren. It's Warner, Dr. Warner. I
Mm.
guess her first name's Diana, so I'm thinking of Diana Warren. Dr. Warner uh, is Dr. Warner is going ahead to the cave to get things ready for you all. You all can stop at this weird little spot along the way off the road. You all kind of like park the truck and um, Glenn's like, it's not far from here, just about 100 yards
Did
up
they
the
all
way.
bring their dogs?
No, only DOG.
Okay.
He's like, no, they don't usually come out here till later at night, but and DOG takes off and goes straight for whatever you came to see. DOG does not wait for the rest of you. Glenn's like, see what I mean?
I jog after her because I'm intrigued.
You can head out there and you'll eventually catch up to her. And indeed, she's just standing there staring at apparently nothing. It just looks like a flat stretch of desert. There's nothing growing in the little spot she's staring at. Like there's shrub around it, but it seems like it's kind of like cleared there. But at a glance, there's nothing else around. What do you do?
I take out my binoculars and look through them to see if maybe there's something further ahead the dog is staring at
I
that
like that.
my
You can go ahead and
human
make,
eyes
yeah,
can't perceive.
you can make the meddling move. I think that's a good idea.
Reason?
I think it's actually going to be sensitivity.
Great.
Do you have an item to mark here? The binoculars, I guess.
The binoculars, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But I have a 7. That's okay.
Sounds good. Well, I think the thing is, you're looking through the binoculars, and for a very, very brief moment, it doesn't last long, but like in the moment that it takes your eyes to adjust to looking through the binoculars, you see what appears to be just a shimmer, like a wave or a shimmer in that spot that the dog is staring at. Because you got a mid result, I'm going to also say that while you're digging around in your pack to get your binoculars, the black orb falls out and rolls toward that spot.
Uh-oh.
And that's actually what causes the shimmer. So you notice it when the black orb kind of like gets close. So that's actually your clue. There's this little shimmer that you can briefly detect whenever the black orb gets close to that spot.
So we can also replicate that.
I think so. Yeah. I think you can replicate it. It's a clue in any case, so it has something to do with the solution. Amber, what are you doing right now?
So did we all witness that, or was it just Taylor?
Just Taylor looking through the binoculars. While you're
Yeah,
kind of
but
like,
I would
yeah.
I would also I mean I would tell you and try
Oh
to
yeah,
recreate that
yeah.
and
Yeah.
get the orb and roll it back and get
Roll
the
it
orb
back,
and roll
yeah.
it back until everyone has seen the shimmer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everybody takes a turn looking through the binoculars. Like, oh yeah, I see it. I see
Oh.
it. Yeah. It's one of those things, right? So that's going to take a little bit of time. That's all going on. Glenn is like, while the light is still good, do you want to go ahead and do my talking head on site here? I can talk about the dogs, or I didn't notice any sound or video equipment, so.
Just wanted to say that.
Yeah, I think we didn't bring the camera today.
Oh, so you're just kind of like scouting stuff out today. I get it. That's cool.
Right, but if you want to rehearse something, go ahead.
Mm, mm. And wait, what'd you say at the end there? If you want to do what, something?
If you want to rehearse something.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Basically, I'm going to suggest why don't you rehearse it with Taylor, because they are really kind of the director. So
Oh, yeah.
and my plan is out of character. I want to sit next to Nikki on the drive.
Oh, fantastic.
I say Amber, but you were supposed to bring the script for the rehearsal. I I didn't read it. I wanted to read it on the way here, but you left it. And it's in your room.
I
I'm sorry.
mean, yeah, no worries. I think it's going to be more authentic if we don't actually use a script.
Yeah.
So you'll be fine. Just
Glenn says I'm pretty good, like on the spot. Like
yeah, you can just give it a try,
I've
Taylor.
been told I have movie star good looks too, so that could be good for your program.
Fantastic. Thank you, Amber. How very kind.
Is there anything else you want to do with this scene? I mean, it'll take a little bit of doing to get Dioji to walk away from this,
Right.
and but you've at least confirmed that there's some kind of interaction between this spot and the black orb, and there's something going on there, right?
Yeah, I just want to walk where the shimmer is. Just,
Walk through it.
yeah, walk through it.
Yeah. I don't think you can learn anything different by doing that. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Dr.
So,
Warner, the cave.
yeah,
Mhm.
Sounds good.
sounds good.
By the time
Nikki,
you get
do you also want to listen in on the interview practice?
and Nikki kind of looks to Amber and then looks to you, and Nikki's like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I can help out. Like, I used to do a little bit of audiovisual stuff in high school, if that's helpful.
Yeah, that would be great. Super.
And Nikki goes over there and, you know, and now it's like Nikki, Taylor, and still Glenn over there talking about the scene. Wayne is like, I think we'd ever shake him. Amber.
Yeah. While looking at the others.
I think this scene is good. You can all get back and go and meet Dr. Warner. By the time you get to Dr. Warner, and indeed by the time you get into the cave, we will be in the night phase at that point. Um, I don't think there's anything we need to do special for this night phase since watching a tape is not something we're going to be concerning ourselves with. But I'll check the.
Let's just bring a tape and a TV 2 switches and watch it there.
I mean, we could try answer the question.
You could, yeah. How do you feel about the question? I mean, that's another thing too. I mean, let's review the clues. You've got the existence of these shale oil mining contracts. Actually, Wayne told you about that, right? You have there's like these like there's these hallucinations about the orb. There's these photograph of the kids around the orb. The orb is important. This drained horse in the cave, that's also probably connected to the pile of bones, human and animal, at the cave. We have this dogs and coyotes and such being drawn to this spot, and indeed, in that spot, the black orb reacts to it, or the spot reacts to the presence of the black orb. There's a lot of interconnected clues here. The question is, how do we banish them? I'd be curious to hear what we think is gonna what we think this is. It's gonna require a bit of like you have to like stretch your thinking a little bit and then just see if hope you're correct, basically.
Mm-hmm.
The mining contracts are the ones I can't place. The others you can kind of like maybe like, oh, maybe it's a portal that leads the the
Yeah, well, the mining
things.
contracts is maybe like how they discovered the portal or how they opened it.
Oh, that's interesting. It was opened
That would
up.
be my guess.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I
interesting.
mean, like there's a used clue that kind of is connected in my mind.
Well, because the
There
black orb
was
was found in the desert, right?
yeah, and there was an earthquake a while ago,
Right.
so maybe that there was some drilling or such.
Oh, I see. The drilling like unleashed something and kind of, oh, that's kind of
Mhm.
intriguing. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
maybe they thought it was oil, but it turned into the black hole.
Maybe. I
It
mean
doesn't have
the
anything to do with the clue, but
I mean the black orb is kind of like a historical thing, right? Because it had been around for a while because there was like old pictures of it, and also
yeah,
it was in
true.
this like museum. Like so, I think the black orb has predates the Deep Lake Devils,
Mm.
Hmm.
but it could I don't know. There could be something else there. I don't know. Why don't we take like 10, give you all a chance to kind of think about the theory, and then we'll come back and
Hmm.
solve the or hopefully answer the question, and then we'll resolve it in the night phase.
We are
Okay, so what do we have? What are we thinking for the answer here? Uh, oh,
should I go?
Go ahead.
yeah, I think Natasha's thrown it to you, Michael.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. I was
Oh, sorry, I forgot to
not
mute
sure.
myself while blowing my nose.
Fair enough. So, we figured out those winged bat creatures are obviously from another dimension, and there are probably several, let's say, portals or doorways to that. And the area where the dogs are is one, and there's probably one um, in the caves as well, where the pit is.
Mhm.
Um, the pile of bones indicate that um, there has been sacrifices in the past.
Oh,
So people have kind of appeased the devils in ancient times, and
oh,
obviously that has stopped.
yeah.
And combined with the drilling, they have been stirred up. And since they don't get any food,
Oh, okay.
the easy way that they have to hunt.
Got it. Got it.
And yeah, so that also fits with the mass grave, and there was like a sacrifice
One of the
message.
old
Yeah,
clues.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But I'm just using it to contextualize the
yeah.
others
Hmm.
we've got.
Hmm.
Um,
And
yeah, and
the coolest part, don't forget the coolest.
I mean, I'm just gonna go through, but I'm not sure if that's gonna be the coolest part. Um, so obviously the orb is like a very powerful artifact, and um, the picture um, with the students, they eventually have become one of the great hungers. So
Oh, interesting.
Because of the orb.
Oh, intriguing. Okay, I'm
so this is
intrigued.
like a very, very powerful artifact,
Hmm.
and if we can figure out how to reprogram the frequency it's sending or whatever, that will banish
Oh, it'll kind of
those
open up the
creatures.
dimension, those creatures. Oh, that's intriguing. Really
Yeah, and
intriguing.
maybe we can just change the frequency like a TV station, change the
Yeah,
channel,
of
and
course.
they
Yeah,
they get
yeah,
sent somewhere else.
yeah.
Yeah, Michael said we would just have to like press around on the orb a bit and it would just like a
That's
car
so
door
interesting.
or a remote
I
control.
love it. I think it's great. I mean, well, I'm curious about this like Great Hunger thing, just because I'm not necessarily for the theory, but I'm just curious. Like, who do we think became a Great Hunger?
The students
The
who
kids from the
jumped off the
picture.
building, that was
Oh,
like, um,
They were on the picture
oh, they were in the
from
picture.
Uncle
Oh, that's
Jim's
right. That's
museum.
right. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, so I see. The orb. Oh, that's really intriguing. And what's really interesting about this being the last mystery before the TV Odyssey mystery, it kind of strongly implies that the orb is probably very closely connected to what happened to
Mhm.
TV Odyssey also, right?
right.
And maybe whatever happens in the conclusion of this mystery will connect us up immediately to the chromatic desert to wherever Shane is and Zach and TV Odyssey. So that's really intriguing. So your plan is just to F around with this orb in the hopes
Yeah,
of
pretty much.
opening up a portal to send these things back. That's really intriguing. Are you hoping to like open up the portal like at one of the existing spots like that you know about already, like the one in the desert, or and then like lure the creatures to it, or like will it just suck the creatures in, or like I don't know, like what do we think is happening there?
I was thinking of doing it in the cave,
Yeah.
Mm.
actually, like
Okay.
because they're there already, and then
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
And
I
maybe there's like a signal that actually makes them go away because they're kind of bat-like, right?
They are bat like, yeah, yeah, that's really great. Um,
yeah, and we have the bed specialist and the mechanic, and we thought that together they could maybe rig something up. I don't know.
that's right. You have a bat specialist and a mechanic.
Let them do the work.
So here's what we need.
I'm sure Amber will get them to.
I love it. I think it's a cool idea. Let's see how you get on your diet. Let's
Spec,
see.
yeah, eyelashes, Amber, and they.
You know, it's +2.
Do you want to roll, Natasha?
Oh, you
No?
grab.
Okay. Uh, that's an 8.
An 8. You could bump it up to a 10 to make it an easy resolution if you both turn a key.
Let's see. Do we still have the key of the mystery?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, if you do, you can just. Oh, yeah, you can still turn that one. You can turn that one to bump it up to a 10. Each latchkey narrates a flashback when they took a big risk or beat the odds at the expense of someone unexpected.
Ooh,
Taking a
nice.
big risk. I like it. Be thinking on that. Um, so this will be a pretty easy resolution. I think what would be great is, or it'll be a straightforward resolution. It might still be, there'll still be, might be some challenge, but it'll be straightforward. I'd like to suggest that you kind of come clean with everybody in the cave of like what you're hoping to do, right? And everyone is kind of down for it, right? Like,
Especially the high kids.
yeah, 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 exactly right. Yeah, they're all like, "Yeah, man, that's great." Yeah, like they're yeah, like
Let's banish
it's a
them.
perfect audience. No, they're super into it. So, you know, Nikki obviously knows something about mechanics and devices, and you've all seen how the orb kind of works. And I think that maybe I think that would be great. Um, Glenn has the ability to get whatever you think you're going to need to build this resonating machine because he's got a lot of money and and he's got access to things. Um, I think it would even be interesting if like we learn that if we learn that like Wayne went to school for like I don't know like some kind of before he became a ranch hand he like dropped out of college and he was studying
Electronics or
electronics
something.
or something, right? Yeah, yeah, exactly. And
Audio
yeah,
technical
right, yeah, exactly.
engineering.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Audio
perfect.
engineering, something like
I think Dr. Warner is skeptical of all of this, but she will tell you that if these so-called deep lake devils are some kind of creature like you're describing, and if they are bat-like in the way they behave and hunt, she will kind of like she will break down like a band of frequencies and various oscillations connected to winged sonar based creatures that might be of interest. I mean, I'm just I don't know what I'm talking about here, so we're just kind of hand waving this a little bit.
Mm.
Um,
And hook it up to a solar panel so that it will never run out of battery.
I mean, and also she can, and so she says, so you think we have to go down into the cave to actually find these creatures and put this device where they're at and open up this dimensional portal with it in order to send them back.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's about the gist of it.
Yeah.
Good.
That sounds reasonable, no?
Indeed, indeed. I think Dr. Warner's on board. I don't think it's going to take like some time to build this device, right?
Yeah, of
And
course.
so what I think what is going to happen is you all can go back to camp, have your hot dogs and hamburgers with Uncle Joe and Renita. Renita, surprisingly, no trouble on this, and do all of that. And then over the next few days, the team will work on building this device, trying it
Mm.
out at that spot at the desert to see what happens. And and they've built this thing. After they're done, they've built this thing that causes that spot to, like, you can see the shimmer without even having to, like, it's like a constant shimmer, like you can see it there, and everyone is kind of standing around when you realize that you've done it, right? That, like, you can see this like shimmer here. Now that doesn't help you with the creatures. You still have to go where the creatures are, and if your theory is correct about there being another one of these portals where they're at, then this should work as a way of sending them back or getting their attention and causing them to flee or whatever, right?
Oh, yes.
What I want to know is during all of this time, whose affections are being directed where in our little weird makeshift love pentagon or whatever the hell it is we've got going on.
I mean, out of
Well,
character, Natasha, did you want to have anything going on with Nikki?
no. I established in the beginning that Taylor actually has multiple partners at home, so she's uh she's big on poly fidelity, I guess. I think so. She's good.
Yeah, so I think Amber, in a jokingly
Wants them
way.
all.
No, I think Nikki is definitely the number one. Uh, and
Only because she was walking away from you.
well, you know, I was since you made it clear, and maybe that's like a scene where we're having. Um, so I was, you know, when we're going back in the cave, I was gonna be a bit mean to you. Um,
This is to Nikki.
Taylor, actually.
Oh, Taylor. Oh, Taylor.
I think this is like where we make up or something, or kind of. I was really ready to frighten you, make you feel um because obviously accidents happen when you go caving. But I'm glad we're on the same page.
Amber, you can have Nikki if she so wants. You don't have to push me into a cave for that.
I was never going to.
You could just,
I was
yeah,
just
you
implying,
sure about that? You were just gonna leave me there.
I mean,
Oh,
after all, those devils need to eat as well, don't they?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I'm
Maybe
glad
you can
it
bake
doesn't
them
have
some
to come to that.
cupcakes.
Right. I didn't bake in a
Yeah,
while.
me too. Just
Um, um, know what?
yeah.
After we resolve this whole situation, just let me know what you'd like, and I'll bake something for you.
Ooh, yes, please. Triple chocolate peanut butter cupcakes
You got it.
would be great. And maybe you could invite Nikki too, and I'll go for a very long run.
I love
Sounds
it.
good.
I love it. Let's fast forward. You've all put
So
on your
wholesome. Look at us.
I know. You've all put on your climbing gear. Everyone's ready to go. Wayne is agreeing to stay outside of the cave mouth to keep an eye on things, to watch your back while you all go down in. But Glenn's going, Nikki's going, Dr. Warren's going. And yeah, the bones, it's actually it would be a really tricky space to navigate if not for the piles of bones. That actually is a pretty good like path for finding out where these creatures are. And indeed, you spend it's slow going, right? Like you have to navigate some very tight passages, and um there's a lot of like stopping and starting because Nikki especially is and even Glenn to a certain degree, they're like, they're kind of like, hyperventilating a little bit, like it's really scary to be in caves, right? And but Dr. Warren's a pro, so she's trying to like, she's talking everybody through it. You eventually get to the bone pit. Multiple tunnels spill out into this cavernous shaft. The bottom is filled with bones, some bleached and broken, others alarmingly fresh. Many skeletons are intertwined, making the original source creatures virtually unrecognizable, but suggesting the likelihood of perhaps being impaled on a jutting rib or skeletal limb. The sheer volume of dead may rival the current population of living people and animals in Deep Lake. This is this is a lot. You will also see the creatures. Because they've fed recently, they seem like they're dormant. And indeed, Dr. Warner will confirm this is the case. They are bat-like creatures. You can't get a very good look at them, but you can see them hanging from the cave ceiling. And there are not as many as you'd think. There's only like maybe a few dozen, but they're hanging there, and they don't even seem to really be aware of your presence. You should nevertheless keep your voice down, I imagine. But I think what's even more interesting here is these piles of dead. And have either of you marked, you've both marked the Fathomless Well. Because you've both marked the Fathomless Well, I'm going to ask you this special paint the scene question. Generations of the dead cry out for recognition, either as prey or as once willing or unwilling sacrifices. Looking around, what message are you tasked with bearing back to the land of the living?
Hmm.
I received the um, message, the credits are not the end.
Hmm. I think I don't get like a literal message, but rather there's like an um there's like a tied up corpse with a golden pocket watch, and that belongs to one of the ancient families of Deep Lake, maybe the Rodenbeckers, and I'll bring it back to them.
I love it. You get down to this bone pit, and indeed you can even see around the center, or like kind of in the center of this like cave maw, this cave opening, or this like cave in the center of the cave floor with all these bones around. There is even what appears to be like a makeshift altar. It's like a flat table like shelf of stone. You might even see like many years, centuries possibly of blood caked onto it. Maybe it looks like rust or like iron deposits, but it's not. It's blood. And Nikki says, "Look, already I can see the shimmer. And in your headlamps, you can see the shimmer." And she starts to get her equipment set up. The electrical impulses on the black orb cause it to oscillate a certain way, and you can start to see the shimmer. You can start to see something happening there, right? You can also start to see that the Deep Lake Devils are starting to be agitated by it. They're starting to to shift and shuffle. And then you're both joined by two more people in caving gear. It's Renita del Toro and Wayne. And they are holding guns on you all. Wayne says, "I'm awfully sorry, but I can't let you do what you're about to do." Renita says, "There are a lot of things that you weren't meant to see, things that are really important to the old families." And Wayne, of course, as you know, works for the Rodenbeckers. And
Hmm,
Renita works for the system, which is the Rodenbeckers are a part of here in town.
sure.
And they have their guns trained on you, and they're like, maybe you should just turn that off and come back up, and it'll all be okay.
Couldn't you have stopped us before this tedious climb down here? Seriously, what's wrong with you people?
What do you both do?
Hmm.
Yeah, I asked them why.
And Renita says, "We've been curious how close you were going to get to the truth of what's going on in Deep Lake. And I have to say, I don't think we thought you would make it this far. But here you are. You can't turn on that machine. You can't cause whatever that is over there to open up. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you think you're doing, you open up that portal and it's not going to be good. Nothing good is going to happen. Trust me."
How do you know?
And Wayne says, "I've had enough of this." And he just like points his gun at Nikki and is ready to pull the trigger. Amber, what do you do?
Um, I'm gonna step in front of Nikki and say, "You gotta shoot me first."
Interesting. Okay. Um, what if he does? What if he then what?
So,
Well, we can do the night move. I mean, what do you think is going to happen if this doesn't work?
um, yeah, I'm just picturing this is like, um, I I'm not sure how clever she is because I could have seen this coming, but I'm not sure. Um, yeah, I think what would happen if this fails? Obviously, I get shot and Nikki as well.
Yeah, I think it's worse than that. I think Renita realizing that Renita was trying to like talk you all out of it, and then she realizes that Wayne has jumped the gun literally and decides to she just needs to start opening fire too, and so it
Mm.
becomes just a big shootout in the cave.
Worse than that, they shoot Taylor and me.
Yeah, so but it sounds like you're hoping to like appeal to his heart or something. Is that the idea here?
Yeah, so
Okay.
basically that's we've been through so much, Wayne.
Yeah.
You know, we can make it.
I think it's a
The
composure roll.
tornado.
It's a composure roll. If you want to keep going with it, go ahead and roll.
Yeah. So I think just wonder how that might play into it. I think what gives him pause is that he sees on my wrist that there's like a mysterious tattoo, and I personally don't know how it came there and what it means. But this symbol we can see now is also depicted on the shrine.
Oh, I love it. That's good. It has significance to the Rodenbeckers, maybe too.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's really good. Okay. I'm super here for that. Go ahead and roll with advantage. I assume that's a thing you can mark.
yeah, yeah. So with composure.
Should be a good roll for you. It's plus two.
Oh yeah, yeah. So that's a 13.
Nice. The bonus I'm going to give you, he will not shoot you. He will be stunned to see that symbol, and that will buy Glenn and Taylor time to subdue them both, to do something to subdue them both. You don't have to make a die roll, Taylor. I just want to know what you and
Mm.
Glenn do.
I shine my flashlight, caving strength directly into their eyes.
Nice. And then
And
Glenn can like jump them or whatever. Yeah,
yeah,
that's great. Amber, give me that first little part though. Like, what does that look like?
Um, when you don't want to do that, please um remember how we bonded when that terrible attack happened.
He says, wait a second. What is that on your wrist? Where did you get that?
I don't
And
know. Sometimes I get drunk and
at that point, Taylor, what do you do?
yeah. At that point, just I grab my own flashlight and I grab the doctor's flashlight and I hit their eyes with
And
it. And then Glenn strikes their gun hands so that they
they
drop
drop
their
their
guns
guns, yeah.
and
And then as a group, you can all overwhelm them, right?
As a
So,
group, we
yeah.
take we grab the guns and I smack Renita for good measure,
I love it.
just because I can. And also like, seriously, why? What were you planning on doing? Were you planning on letting us go after we decide not to activate the device? Or were you
Nikki,
planning on shooting us? Are you a murderer now too, Renita? Is it not enough that you are a bull and a policeman and an attaboy and you crazy
it's
bitch?
all too much.
Seriously.
It's all too much.
So you're just too much, Renita. You're too much.
Nikki hits the button and gets the
Good.
machine spun up. It kind of like there's like electrical sparks that interact with the orb. The orb spins a certain way, and it starts to cause that like portal over the altar to shimmer and kind of like undulate and ululate even. It makes this noise, right? And the Deep Lake Devils, they respond to it. They seem to be disturbed by the noise and by the sound and by the presence of the orb even, and they just sort of like, it's unclear if they fly into or are sucked into, but in any case they go into the portal.
Can we kick Renita through the portal?
Well, hold that thought. While that's all happening, someone steps through the portal from the other side.
Mm.
It's someone you think you kind of recognize, but you're not sure. They look vaguely familiar, like you've seen them somewhere before, but you're not totally sure. It's a guy, and he says, "There's not much time. Quick, follow me." And that's where we'll end the session.
What? Is it Shane? Ash? Maybe?
I don't know. Somebody you vaguely recognize. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Could be anybody.
Um, let's go ahead and go to the we'll go ahead and go to Dawn. Um, you did collect rewards, so let's see what rewards you're gonna get.
Renita, I hate you.
All right. I'm gonna clip this and then I'll drop it into the thing here. Okay, so the rewards are a Dietz lantern full of kerosene, a sweet dirt bike,
No!
a single sweaty stick of old dynamite. I think that was maybe found somewhere in the cave.
Mm.
Uncle Jimbo becomes a recurring side character. You get an extra clue on the meddling move when you describe how you debunk a shaky theory. You can't have the spider one. Spider one's dead. Or a memento from the investigation. You each get to pick something. I'll let Jack pick something next time.
Do you want the dirt bike?
Yes, I do.
Well, I want the dynamite.
Just blow up the chromatic desert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. That's great. All right, rewards.
Nice.
Rewards are rewarded. Let's go
And I think
to.
I'll remove the black orb from my corner of the house.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, because you can't take it with you, right? Um,
Yeah.
let's answer Dawn questions. Did you resolve a mystery? Yes, you did. Signal from the other side does not apply here, although you did get
Mm.
communication from the other side, but no, but not the capital S signal from the other side. Taylor, did you share a good memory from your childhood?
I don't think so.
Were you
I mean, I
vulnerable
said
with
I
someone?
used a dirt bike, but that's not
Yeah, I
it.
don't know if it quite like connected in that way. I guess you were kind of
Yeah,
vulnerable with Nikki a little bit.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
so too.
Okay, so you get 2 XP. And Amber, were you vulnerable with someone? I think so, in a way. Kind of. Were you vulnerable, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I basically, when we were having that get together, I said I'd like to connect with my uncle, but it doesn't work out. And now I'm spending time with you guys
Oh, that's
instead with
true. Oh,
him.
that's good. That's good. Yeah, I
Mm.
like it. Did you deliver a chilling monologue about something that happened to you in the past? I don't know if it was a chilling monologue. It was definitely a cringeworthy monologue, talking about how everybody loves you. It was, I guess, it was
Oh
chilling
my
in
God,
that
that
way.
was
Oh yeah,
horrible. That was
that was
so
totally
horrible.
intentional.
I mean, you can take it.
Yeah.
It was a monologue. It is about the past, and yeah,
Sure.
um, fantastic.
That's
Uh,
what kids invented the word cringe for.
I
Hmm.
love it. I love it. I think this key prompt that we have to do, I think that'll be a great way of kicking off the start of the next session
Hmm.
because
Perfect.
Jack will need to do it too.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
we'll do that. But otherwise, I think we're good to go for today. We can go to Stars and Wishes. This was a lot of fun. I'm glad we got to do the camping session finally.
Yeah.
Yes, finally.
It was really fun. I'm glad everybody was into the direction I took it. I took it in this like love triangle direction. I thought that would be a lot of fun. And yeah, it's a good time.
I didn't see the double cross coming at all.
I mean, if you're like into four hot people, one of them eventually.
Double crosses
Usually,
everybody,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. One
yeah,
of
yeah,
them
Yeah.
yeah.
might turn evil. Yeah, I had a great time as well. I think bringing in all the love interest was brilliant, and especially when Missy showed up, that was a lot of fun. I liked her role as an ally. Um, maybe
Yeah,
bit
Missy's ally
bit
speech, that was a chilling monologue.
yeah. And definitely a star for Taylor going into the cave with the dirt bike. Yeah, for wishes, I think I'm really intrigued by the person showing up. Um, and I think I like the direction that the Rodenbeckers are involved because why shouldn't they?
Yeah,
I already kind of set my stars and
agreed.
wishes, but I do have a star for I really again I really love the dynamic between Taylor and Amber. It's a lot of fun. I like the call outs of like leaving me out in the middle of nowhere and all that kind of stuff. Those were fun. The Nikki thing was fun. And yeah, it was a really good time. I could picture everything that was happening in my mind really well. Like I could picture the movie of this, you know. So so that was really enjoyable. Even like the whole like montage at the end where everybody pitches in to build the device and do the thing, you know, like that was great. Yeah, loads of fun. It wasn't a wish, but I originally had kind of envisioned that it was just going to be the two of you and maybe one of the love interests, and then the doctor going into the cave, but also the preacher. I imagined him going into the cave as
Ah,
well, and I also thought it was gonna. The way I imagined it, the session was going to go was it was going to be maybe like a little bit like that movie The Descent, like where you go
mm.
into these caves and there's these monsters and everybody's getting picked off one by one. Like I thought it was gonna be like that kind of thing, but I like what it turned out to be. I thought what it turned out to be was a lot of fun too. So yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I also enjoyed the uh I was waiting for the moment where all of Amber's love interests would come together. I was hoping that at one point during the campaign they
It would
would
have
all
been
meet.
it would have been something if like if none of this was a coincidence, like they were all like working together to keep an eye on you all and you know and it was like that would have been cool, right? If like
Uh,
if this
Yeah,
was always like just them like yeah. Like they
yeah.
were never interested in Amber. Like that would have been kind of fucked up.
Oh, that
Yeah.
would be sad. That would be sad though. Yeah. But, I loved Amber's cringe speech. Oh, I almost
So
died behind
cringe.
my
I know.
screen. It was, oh, it was
I
so
know.
horrible.
I know.
And if I were a love interest of Amber, I would have lost interest immediately after that speech.
I mean, they did. They were
Oh,
all like,
oh yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
cool, it's cool. Yeah. That's-
I mean, it's so much fun to picture like goth girls. They're supposed to be cool and aloof, maybe, but just not.
She's just not. She's just socially awkward. But at least she didn't get bullied this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love bickering with Amber. It's always fun. And hey, I got a dirt bike. That's nice. Yes, and I'm also very much looking forward to
our
um
finale. Hmm.
and also where the fuck does this person want us to follow him
And
into
who is
the
it? Like, is it Ash? Is it Shane? Or it's not Shane. Is it Ash? Is it Zach?
Is it the
Is
form of the big
is
man?
the oh, I was thinking that too. Is it the form of the big man, right? It could be like a reborn big man. It could be anything, right? Like, so it's yeah, it's kind of
is
exciting.
it the people's champ?
It's the people's champ.
Yeah, he finally took his mask off
Yeah,
or
that's
whatever.
why he only looks vaguely familiar because the mask is
Yeah.
off. I love it. Well, this is a lot of
Uh,
fun.
Yeah, there's so one more thing.
Hmm.
I'm quite curious because when Shane is in the chromatic desert
Hmm.
and can only uh introduce clues or so via
Well, so that's the
Odyssey
thing.
tape.
I think that has to happen like earlier in the campaign for that to really matter. Because we're at the end, I think you're probably like the way I'm imagining it is Shane is like paving the way for all of you to be in like the chromatic desert dealing with TV Odyssey, right? That's why I mean I don't know for sure. I still haven't quite figured it all out yet,
Okay,
but
okay.
that's my thing. But because it happens so late in the campaign, my thinking is that like that's what's going on. Like Shane is the one who's like found TV Odyssey or something, right? Like or something like that.
That'd
So
be cool.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see how it plays out, but. Cool. Well, I think that's all I've got. This is a lot of fun. A long session for just three people, but it's okay. It was good. It was a good time. I'm gonna wave
Yeah.
goodbye to everybody.